Hello, my dear children. Welcome to lecture number 2 on the topic the human eye and the colorful world. In the last lecture, we studied different parts of human eye and their functions. In today's class, let us take two more points which I left out in the last period. So that is aqueous humor and vitreous humor. There are two gel-like substances present in the eye. So first one will be aqueous humor, that is a gel-like transparent substance. It's a gel-like transparent substance, provides nutrition to the eye lens as well as maintaining the eye in a pressurized state. It helps the eye to maintain the pressure right, and it is giving the nutrition to the eye lens and some other parts of the eye too. So here it is, the aqueous humor. This portion is nothing but aqueous humor, the semi liquid, or you just take it as a gel like substance. It is called as aqueous humor, which provides the necessary pressure to the eye as well as it is giving some nutritions to the eye lens, to the other parts of the eye too. Okay, and we have one more material, that is or substance you call vitreous humor. Vitreous humor again is a type of gel-like material, as I mentioned earlier, helps in protecting the eye. The vitreous humor, which protects the eye and holding the eye in a spherical shape. It is playing a vital role in holding the eye in its spherical shape. So vitreous humor is shown here. So this is the portion of vitreous humor. This portion entire, this blue color portion is nothing but vitreous humor, which helps the eye to maintain its shape along with protection to the eye. I hope you got these 2 points clear. So let us try to understand the image formation in human eye. So how the image is going to form on the retina, how we can get the objects right. So here is the answer for you. When we look into the object, whenever you are looking into the object, light from the object enters to the pupil and falls on the eye lens. What happens? So whenever you are looking at the object, the light coming from that object, or reflection is well, no problem. So the light is coming from that object and entering into the pupil and falls on the eye lens. So eye lens is nothing but a convex lens which is forming the real and inverted image of the object on the retina. So let's go back to this picture. So when the light is falling on retina like this, what happens? The light is coming from the object and entering into this eye lens. So after that, it is going to form the image at the retina. So retina gets the image which is real and inverted. So as I said that this lens is a convex kind of lens, therefore it converges the rays of light and hence forming the real and inverted image of it. So eye lens, which is a convex lens which is forming a real and inverted image of the object on the retina. So retina contains actually a special cells. Generally they are of shape of cones. They appear to be like cones. These cone shaped special cells convert the light into, or say image into, proper electric pulses. So retina has special conical structure like this. It is having the special cells like this in the form of cones. So these special cells on the retina converts light or image into proper electric pulses or signals. So these signals will be carried to brain through optic nerves. We already got the function of optic nerves, which sends these pulses or signals to the brain. So that process is done through optic nerves. So once these signals reaches the brain will interpret, and hence we can see the object. So this is all about the image formation in image formation in human eye. So the next concept, that is power of accommodation. We are into the next part, that is power of accommodation. The process or ability by which ciliary muscles change the focal length of eyelids. It is changing the ciliary muscles, changing the focal length of eyelids in such a way that sharp image of the object at any position from the eye formed on the retina is known as power of accommodation. It is the ability by which the ciliary muscles changing the focal length of eyelids in such a way that you are getting the sharp image of the object formed on the retina at any positions of the object. So that is known as power of accommodation. So accommodation is the process, you may call. Power is nothing but ability of changing that. Okay, I repeat, the process by which the ciliary muscles change the focal length of eyelids in such a way that a sharp image of the object is formed on the retina at different positions of the object. And the ability of doing this, ability of changing focal length, that is known as a power of accommodation. So you can mix it like this, no problem at all. So power of accommodation is okay, or just to take accommodation, that is also okay, no problem whatsoever. So how this focal length is going to adjust? When the object is at very far distance, assume the object is at infinity. Okay, it is infinity means what? It is not from universe, as I mentioned in the previous classes, that it is just beyond the experimental table. Okay, so when the object, a distant object, far distant object, you may say, okay, the parallel beam of light which is coming to the eye, and it is focused on the retina by the expansion of ciliary muscles. What happens if you are looking into the distant objects? So the light is focused on the retina. Light is going to focus definitely through the expansion of these ciliary muscles. What exactly ciliary muscles do? These are doing stretching or expansion of ciliary muscles adjusts the focal length of the light that has to focus on retina. Similarly, when the object is at very near distance, objects when they are very nearer to us, the beam of light which is coming from that focused on retina by contraction. So contraction happens, because of that you are getting again the sharp image. So the role of ciliary muscles are very much important in defining power of accommodation. The ability of the eye by changing the focal length is simply called as power of accommodation. So expansion as well as contraction done by ciliary muscles to change the focal length of the eyelids in such a way that a sharp image of the object at any position from the eye is formed on the retina. That is nothing but power of accommodation. I hope you got this meaning right. Thus, the focal length is adjusted automatically by the actions of ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles, their action actually adjusts the focal length of the eye, and hence it is known as power of accommodation. Note that focal length of the eye lens cannot be decreased to a minimum limit of 25 centimeter. So, eye lens cannot be decreased to a minimum limit of 25 centimeter from the eye. So, eye lens cannot decrease its value a minimum distance of 25 centimeter. The focal length of the eye lens cannot be decreased to a minimum limit a distance of 25 centimeter from the eye lens. So below this, objects become blurred and experiences strain. Thus we cannot get the image distinctly. So this minimum distance to get the distinct vision without any strain is known as least distance of distinct vision. It is called as least distance of distinct vision. Okay, so we have a minimum. The eye lens have the minimum focal length, that is of 25 centimeter, below which it cannot decrease. So by that the image become blur. So once image starting to blur, it experiences strain. So thus you cannot get the image distinctly. This minimum distance at which the objects visible distinctly without strain is known to be as least distance of distinct vision. This is also called as near point of the eye. It is called as near point of the eye. Similarly, we have the point at which the objects visible distinctly is called as far point, or it is generally at infinity. So the point at which objects cannot be visible distinctly. Remember the point at which the objects, sorry, I made a mistake here, no problem. So objects cannot visible distinctly is known as a far point of the object. It is called as far point actually, and generally it is at infinity. The far distant objects which cannot visible distinctly, yet again we are having the point, that point is known as far point. Generally it is at infinity. So the near point is taken at 25 centimeter and far point at infinity. So this is about power of accommodation. Now I'm into the next concept, that is defects of vision and their corrections. Sometimes the eyes may gradually lose its power of accommodation as the age progresses. What happens? Eyes are gradually starting to lose its power of accommodation. What happens if we started to lose the power of accommodations? Power of accommodation. In such situations, person cannot see the objects distinctly and comfortably. He cannot or she cannot watch or see the objects distinctly and comfortably. So the vision becomes blur due to refractive defects. That is due to refractive defects of the eyes. We have a problem in the eyes in the form of refractive defects. So as the age progresses, generally the eyes generally starting to lose the power of accommodation. By that we cannot see the objects distinctly and comfortably. So that is due to refractive defects of the eyes. There are mainly three types of refractive defects of the vision. They are myopia, it is also called as short sightedness. Second one, hypermetropia, the long sightedness. And third one, presbyopia. These are the three main, or you may call common, refractive defects of vision. These defects and how the corrections can be done, that will be discussed in the next period. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.